Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Laura Wilkie with Down Home with Lemon Pie, and this is all about our curriculum for next school year. Okay guys, if you're brand new to my channel, welcome. I'm a Christian stay-at-home homeschool mom. I have 7 kiddos, and out of those 7 kiddos, only the first 4 are actually school age. That includes my 6 and 8-year-old boys and my 2 girls that are 9 and 11. And this school year, if you've been watching our channel for a while, you know that I love My Father's World. However, we've used it for years. However, last year, as part of the family learning cycle, we entered into Creation to the Greeks. And about halfway through that school year, it was just not working for us. So we switched to Story of the World, and I did a video about that. You can check it out there. And I mentioned in that video, I think that we were going to kind of just try it out. And in a further video at the end of that school year that we just ended, in this video here, I talked about how we were going to continue Story of the World, but we were going to be making a little change, something you were not expecting, and that is due to the fact that we are going to be taking our family on the road schooling and traveling around America, providing that God will provide the gas that we need for that in this crazy economy. But as part of that, and because of that, we decided to switch. So we did Story of the World Volume 1 last year. Naturally, you would go to Story of the World Volume 2, which is like Renaissance, and then Early American History is number 3. We are actually going straight into number 3. I'm going to swap 2 and 3, so we are going to do 3 this year and 2 next year. We're just going to kind of flip them. And I'm excited for this. Normally, I would not recommend that to anybody. However, because we're going to be traveling around, we're hoping to do things like Yellowstone and Mount Rushmore and the Little House on the Prairie Museum. We're planning to do these things around the country. Maybe the Ark, if we can get there with gas. Just all these things. And because of that, I wanted to go ahead and include those in our lessons. So so we are skipping Renaissance period, which I was super excited about. I'd already bought a whole bunch of stuff for that. But because we're having this change in our lives, we're going to go ahead and move forward to early American history. And this technically actually says early modern times from Elizabeth I to the 49ers. So the years for this one is 1600 to 1850. That's what we're going to be covering. I'm excited about this. I did go ahead and get the activity book, and this one is quite a bit bigger than the one that was for volume 1, but I loved this. When we added this, it made a huge difference in the way that our homeschool was going. It was super exciting and fun. This has everything you need, guys. Okay, so for each chapter, you've got you've got the little stories that you read in that one, and then you've got here, it's got all these things. It has review questions. It has places you can get extra information if you're wanting to dive deeper. Review questions that you can ask your kiddos. Narration exercises. So I actually just use those for my little ones as a guide. So they can still write the narration, and I just kind of use these, what they give us already, as a guide. And then it has review questions for each section that it gives you. And then it has projects that you can do along with it. It even has, it's got cooking things, it's got crafts, activities, it's got coloring pages, it's got map work, it's just got, and all of that is back here at the very back. You can tell and all this stuff is printable, guys. It has a little blurb at the beginning that you can print. Look at those paper dolls, tons of stuff. So this is why we're sticking with this. It is so easy and so complete, and it works for several ages. I can have my little ones working on the coloring page while my bigger ones are doing the map work or whatever. It's just so complete. I love it. So we are skipping volume 2. We're going straight to volume 3 right here. Okay, so I'm also adding in another book. Because I already had it on my bookshelf. And that is Exploring American History by Christian Liberty Press. I love them and have been pleased with their books in the past, so I'm going to continue. I already had this, like I said, on my bookshelf, so it wasn't something I had to purchase. That's why I'm adding it. And these stories, the amount of stories in this book you can do, I believe I calculated it all out, but I think it's like maybe it's 2 a week. So to fill the other days, we can do some of those activities, but also I'm going to be reading this in the days that we're not reading that. So this one, I'm not concerned about it matching up like exactly and pairing up. I'm not concerned about that. But this one I think is going to give us a lot of those good hero stories too that I really want my boys to have. So, and it kind of tells you William Penn, George Washington, all these people that it's talking about, and just good stories. This is the stuff I love. I was not taught this in public school as far as these people. You were just taught what they did, but you weren't taught about their faith, or that they prayed about things, or that they asked God for help and all of that stuff. And those things are disappearing. That is why I have planned this curriculum myself, and it is very, very much focused, as you will see, on God and His hand in the lives of our or in the building of our country. You don't see that these days. So when I plan a curriculum, one of the things I do is I have a bunch of other main curriculums that I look and see what they're using, and then I pick it from those books a lot of times, because if they've already done the work and found out that they're good, then I can just pick from the good stuff. One of these is included in the My Father's World version for their American history, which is not the Rome to Reformation, but the next one. And I can't remember, it might be both, I don't know. But when I saw these, I thought these were a great find, so I picked up both of them. And the first one is the Signers. We're going to be doing a bunch of unit studies this year. I'm going to go through and show you some of those today, but the first one is the Signers. This is the 56 stories behind the Declaration of Independence. I want our kids to have a firm grasp on early American history and why did they create this country? How did they create it? Just all of the things that happened. What sacrifices did they make, and why it is important for us to uphold those. So anyway, this is kind of what it looks like on the inside. This one's about Benjamin Franklin. Not going to be too challenging. Just read the little story. It's just right there, and then it goes to the next one. So this isn't going to take like a lot of time. This is 56 stories, so I figure 56 days. Okay, another one we're going to do is the Founders. This is just like it, but it is the 39 stories behind the Constitution. Again, I'm thinking 39 stories, 39 days. So we'll just do one a day, like during morning time, and just kind of get that repetition of why and how our country was created. Like I said, things that the schools aren't teaching and that they want to forget. They are literally trying to erase this history. So I'm going to make sure that it is cemented in my kids' brains. Okay, another, talking about unit studies, I'm going to do a unit study on inventions. I saw this that was recommended on My Father's World, and what a fun unit study. So this is the story of inventions, again, by Christian Liberty Press. They have a new version of this. I have the old one because I'm a thrifty mama. That other one is the old one too. They have a new version of that. Much cuter cover and all of that. I typically, I like the cute covers. I like the pretty books, but in this case, I went for thrift. So there you go. Sometimes that's what you do. So anyway, this is all the inventions. Just all the inventions throughout history. I'm super excited. We've studied inventions before, and it was so fun. The kids really get into this, so I'm excited to do it. We haven't done it with this book though, so that'll be fun. We're going to do a short unit study on the story of the Statue of Liberty. This is the only book I'm using for that unit study, but we're going to learn about it, learn about where it came from and how it got here and all of those good things and why. So I'm excited for that. We're going to do a little mini unit study on the Pledge of Allegiance. What is it? What does it mean? What do all the lines mean? What are we going to do? It's just a small book, but I picked this book because it tells you why. I saw several books that just explained that were literally just the Pledge of Allegiance, like one line written on each page. This one is why and what it is, and I'm excited. So that's this one. Part of My Father's World has this included, and I am going to include it as a wonderful read aloud. This is not actually a unit study, but it was next in my stack. This is going to be one of our great read alouds. Again, I already had it. It was given to us, and I'm so thankful, because if it wasn't, I would have bought it. This is, again, In God We Trust, Stories of Faith in American History. Again, the stuff that they are trying to erase from, literally erase and taking out of American history textbooks in public schools. They don't teach this. They didn't teach it when I was in school. They're not teaching it now, and even worse now. And so I am going to be reading this. This will be like a read aloud though. Okay, another couple unit studies that I have planned. The Story of Money. Why not, right? I already had this. I got this on Book Outlet. The link's below if you haven't used there, because if you use the link below, you can get a discount. But I wanted to know. I wanted to just, I already had this book, like I said, and I figured this was a good year to utilize it. It doesn't, because it's the history of money, it doesn't fit exactly with American history, but until you get later in the book. But I still think it's really cool, and we're going to do a little unit study and learn about money. Okay, we're going to do another unit study on the White House. Again, early American history, the story of the White House. If we can get to that area of the country, maybe we'll get to see it. But if not, that's okay too. We're not going to go crazy to try to go do those things. But so I picked up actually two books. This one I got first, and it's actually really good. It's really in-depth. It's got actual pictures of the rooms and things. So I'm excited about this. But then I saw this one too, and I thought this one would just be super fun. We're not going to read this whole book. Like I said, it's going to be a unit study. This might be something I put out just like as a quiet time something, or I don't know. But it is 1,000 Facts About the White House, and I'm excited for this one because I think the kids are going to really think they're funny. Like this one is 50 Priceless Facts About White House Treasures. This one is about fashion, and I like the way it's done. It's just little blurbs. So this one's about a fire. I think that they'll enjoy this book, so I am going to add that one too. So some fun unit studies. I have a couple more planned, but they're not as exciting as these. And we may not even get to them. This is a lot already. We may not even get to them, so I'm not going to share those yet. But if you follow me on Instagram, if we get to them, I'll post pictures and things. Okay, something brand new that I am starting this year, and I think I'm going to continue it for future years, is an author study. If I can make it match up close to the time period that we're studying, I'm going to do that. But this one's fairly close. So I was thinking one author, we'll focus on one author per semester, and we will read about that author and some of their works. So the first semester author is going to be Charles Dickens. You know, if you've been watching, I'm not a huge fan of these Who Was books, but this was the only one I could find, so I'm going to try it again. But our first author is Charles Dickens. We're going to learn about him and some of his works. I'm thinking Christmas Carol and Oliver Twist, but maybe not. I don't know, because I'm having a hard time finding Oliver Twist in a audiobook is what I was wanting, so we could listen to it on the road. So I don't know. There may be some swapping there. We're also going to be doing Grimm's Fairy Tales because I did find that on an audiobook for free. So we'll doing a little bit of that. I'm not a big fan of fairy tales, but that was this time period, so we might try out a couple of them. Next semester, we're going to be doing Mark Twain. And for Mark Twain, we are going to be reading, I had planned to read Huckleberry Finn and Tom Sawyer, and like the abridged children's versions. But then, and we probably still will, but then I also found The Prince and the Pauper in a dramatized audiobook, and I listened to a sample, and it is a great version, so we're probably going to do that too. It's only $7 on Christian Book to get the CD. So that'll be next semester. We'll be doing Mark Twain, and we'll be doing Charles Dickens first. I'm really excited about this author study in our homeschool. I have lots planned for future years, but that's the one for right now. Okay, for Bibles and for our Bible study, and also part of our morning time has a loop study. This is going to be in our loop study, which is Then Sings My Soul, where you learn about hymns, and we learn the hymns and the history behind them. For our Bible study, we're going to continue Journey Through the Bible. I don't have it with me at this exact moment because I'm taking this video in the RV and we're still using it in our house. So things are kind of in both places at this time. So Journey Through the Bible right there. And then for art and music, I'm going to do one composer semester. I don't know which one first, and they don't obviously really match up, I don't believe, to this time period, but I already had these. So that's what we're going to use. I didn't have to buy them. So I'm doing Bach and Handel. Did I pronounce that wrong? I don't know. These two, and I don't know. I didn't get to those last year like I had planned, so we'll try to get those. And then we're going to continue God in the History of Art, but we are going to skip ahead to the paint cards, which are actually Renaissance and not really this time period either, but my kids are really, really wanting to get to the paint cards, and I thought we were going to get to them last year and we did not. So we are going to skip, and where they start is where we're going to start. I have both versions, and that's where we're going to start so they can get some painting because they really want to paint. Okay, so for science, last year we did Apologia, we did astronomy, and that was fun. But this year we are going to be doing food science with something that we are creating on our own. And we are going to be using Food Anatomy by Julia Rothman. I'm excited for this one. If you're not familiar with her books, they are well done. And they kind of give you all the things, all the information about all the things. So I'm super excited about this. But in addition to that, we are going to be adding this, the Nourishing Traditions Cookbook for Children. So excited for this one. It's about eating real food, a lot of food that is traditionally was eaten but maybe isn't eaten today's time. But I just love the way this is done. This is done so stinking cute. And like, let me show you. It's got, here we've got how to make bone broth, which we actually make this all the time in our home, but just why you make it, it tells you all about it. There's a lot of great information here that I don't even know. I was flipping through it and it's just so good. How to make cream cheese, how to make kefir. This is about why milk's good for you. You hear that today. Oh, you don't even need milk. Why you actually do. You know, I'm so frustrated with the things that the world is telling us right now because it is a bunch of lies and things that people believed and knew were true hundreds of years ago, and they're telling you it's all lies. So it's so frustrating. I know you know what I'm talking about if you are like-minded, but I am really excited about this. I'm excited about it a lot. Let me find the meat. Here, we're talking about meat. This is the part that, you know, the world is telling you, you don't need meat, just have soy and tofu, you're good to go. And it's amazing when you start digging into that and researching that and looking into it, the information that you find. It's amazing. So I'm excited for this. This is going to be our science. We're going to do food science, food anatomy, and nourishing traditions cookbook for children. I think I'm going to try and get the kids little cute aprons to wear during our cooking time. I have it all planned out. So anyway, those are our main subjects. I'll do another video later as we get closer to kind of some of our other subjects that are just like the fun ones, like manners and poetry, things like that. But these are our main core subjects. These are the things we're going to focus on the most. I am excited to start next school year. We're going to be starting in a couple months, I think. I don't know yet. And anyways, I will see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.